Happy Thursday, everyone. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for Puck It with Jo. We've got 7 games on the slate today. We had some really interesting ones yesterday. Hopefully, you guys were able to cash some of those bets. But let's make some money tonight. Jo coming in already with the Bruins in the first period at plus 160. It's going to be interesting there versus Vancouver. We're going to get to that. Let's go. I got a feeling of a big night as well, James. Really liking tonight's slate. So I think we got a couple unders, couple overs. We got some player props we're going to hit on as well. And the Islanders and the Canucks on the money line. James, I like how you're thinking there in that one. So we're going to kick it off with the first game here on the slate. I want to remind you guys, if you haven't downloaded the SportsGrid app yet, make sure you go over and do so. There's so much great content on there. You can follow all your favorite hosts as well, including myself. So make sure you go over and check that out. We're going to look at the Vancouver Canucks versus the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins here are coming in as the favorite at home, and now all odds are over on FanDuel. As I just pull this up, just give me 1 second. We are seeing the Boston Bruins at minus 134. So they're getting really out of my price range, especially when you look at the Vancouver Canucks and how strong they have played as an underdog. They're coming in at plus 112. We got a total of 6.5. Now the under is minus 132, and it's the only way I can take this game. I do expect this to be a low-scoring defensive battle here between these goaltenders as well. If you want to look at the over and you believe this is going to be a 4-3 finish, if it does go over, that will be the finish in my opinion. It's coming in at plus 108. I just do think this one stays under that total. Demko is riding a personal high of a 9-game win streak. He's got a 2.43 goals against average and a 920 save percentage. When we look here at Omar off that fantastic game before the break versus the Flyers, he only allowed 2 goals on something like 35, 36 shots on a goal. He's got a 2.78 goals against average and a save percentage of 913. So I do think in this one, the value is on the Vancouver Canucks. I think this is a tight fought 2-3 style game at the end. This is the first meeting between these two of the season. And when we look at last season, the Boston Bruins were able to win both of those matchups, both at home and on the road. Pastrnak has been so incredibly strong. So don't blame anyone who wants to back the Boston Bruins in this. Pastrnak has just been absolutely on fire. He has 33 goals and a total of 73 points. And then when we look at Elias Pettersson here for the Vancouver Canucks, when they are an underdog, he has been scoring. So I do like Pettersson to be able to come out and get the goal. When you look at Vancouver, as an underdog, they have covered the puck line in their last 11 games. In this situation, of course, there's no value tonight on them on the puck line, but they have won their last 4 as a straight up dog. So I can't not take the Vancouver Canucks. It's just where the value is lying for me. But that under 6.5, you have to look at Omar. This is his first game back since the break. And last season, he was able to save 31 of 29 shots on goal in that game versus the Vancouver Canucks. So phenomenally strong. And then when we look here at the Vancouver Canucks, how they've been trending to that under 4-3-1 in the last 8 to the under. And when we look at the Boston Bruins for their last 5 games, have stayed under that total. So I'm going to lay the juice at minus 132 to the under 6.5. And yeah, I got to lean on Vancouver to continue to roll. I think a lot of people expect, because the Boston Bruins are coming off that loss to the Calgary Flames, that Boston will get back on track and are willing to lay the juice. And just not willing to lay the juice. We're looking at the number 1 team in the Pacific in the Vancouver Canucks. Do not underestimate them here. I know the Boston Bruins are the number 1 in the Atlantic, but we saw what Calgary did to them. This team can and probably will. I hate to say will, because there's no guarantees in sports betting, but I think the Boston Bruins will lose tonight. So I love what we've seen out of Vancouver and Demko. If you're getting under 6, 100% hit that under 6. You're going to get so much better value than the minus 132s. I just try to give you what is on FanDuel, because the majority of the bigger books do have relatively the same lines as FanDuel. So good evening to everyone. Yeah, I'm liking some unders as well today. So the next game on deck, we have the Washington Capitals taking on the Florida Panthers. This is another one where I think a lot of people thinking automatically Florida should bounce back. And I do think Florida is the better team in this matchup versus the Washington Capitals. They're at home as well. We're going to go back to an oldie but a goodie playing on the Florida Panthers in that first period on the puck line. At least I am. I'm going to look at them here on the puck line to just come out with their frustrations and take it out on the Washington Capitals. On that puck line first period, that's coming in at plus 114. Now, if you're looking at the odds for the full game, you got the Washington Capitals at plus 225, minus 280 here for the Florida Panthers, total of 6.5. That is juiced to the under at minus 138 to the under on FanDuel. If you think this could be a 4-3 game, you're getting plus 112 on the over. When I look at this one here, excuse me for 1 second, you guys, I just have to cough. Okay, sorry about that. When we look here at Ovechkin and how Ovechkin has been out there on the ice, a lot of people are saying that he's really showing his age out there. I do think we see Ovechkin play a solid game in this one. Now, he's only got 10 goals on the season, but you can look at him here for the anytime goal. That's coming in at plus 220 for Ovechkin versus the Panthers. He has played strong over his career. He's played 70 total games versus the Florida Panthers, 43 goals and 43 assists. So I do like him to come out nice and strong. Now, my problem with taking the Washington Capitals straight up as the dog tonight is their inability to score. And we look at the Florida Panthers. This team has been so phenomenally strong defensively, limiting opponents to 27.2 shots on goal per game, which is second best overall in the league. Their kill is clicking at 82.8%, and we've got a very weak power play here of the Capitals. Now, the Capitals have lost their last 5 first periods. This team starts off slower. So I do believe in the Florida Panthers in the first period to be able to cover that puck line. You look at the full game, though, and that's where it gives me some worries because the Florida Panthers are 8-16 at home on that puck line. I worry that they drop back and play a more defensive game. In this one, with the Capitals, we know they just don't find the back of the nets. Now, Bobrovsky is in goal tonight for the Florida Panthers, and his record versus the Washington Capitals isn't that strong, though. So this is where it gives me concern with that total and why I'm only looking at the first period. Bobrovsky in 33 games versus the Washington Capitals is 13-13-5. with a 3.01 goals against average and a save percentage of 900 versus them. So I could see the Caps scoring on him tonight. So I'm going to stay off the total. I'm just going to hit that first period. The Capitals, they just don't have that confidence in them offensively as of late. They're just not getting those high danger shots. And the Florida Panthers should be mad coming into this off that loss. Goal scorers here on Darcy Kemper. Darcy Kemper in goal for the Capitals. Sam Bennett, interesting to look at here for the anytime goal. He's coming in at plus 210. And Barkov I like as well at plus 200. Now, those team totals, if you do think one of these teams will score more than the other, you're going to have to lay juice on the Florida Panthers. Over 3.5 coming in at minus 136. The team total for the Capitals, if you do believe they can get 3 goals, which I am so tempted to take, you guys, because we're getting plus money to the over 2.5 at plus 118. And I do really like Barkov. Barkov for the anytime goal, I think, is a solid one in this one. And I do think Ovechkin gets on the scoreboard. I know they just can't score, and that's the problem with this team right now. The Washington Capitals can't find the back of the net. They're in the bottom 7 for those high danger shots on goal as well. So unless Bobrovsky just really has a struggle against them, which we have seen in the past, this should be a game where Florida should come out and just dominate, but I'm not sure if I can trust the Florida Panthers right now off that loss to the Philadelphia Flyers 2-1 in their first game back. And I know it was their first game back. This team is healthy. So first period, that's my favorite bet of this game. And I'm going to look at a goal score here. I'm going to look at Sam Bennett, but otherwise I'm just going to take that first period over 1.5. And I do think I will put money on Ovechkin as well. Okay, let's talk about my favorite team. We got the Calgary Flames in action versus the New Jersey Devils. I tell you, Jack Hughes back in this lineup was a oh crap moment this morning when I found out he was back in this lineup, because I I wanted Calgary to have more of a chance to be able to get the win. They're coming in at plus 122 on the money line, minus 146 here for the New Jersey Devils, total of 6.5. Now, this one is juiced to that over, and it makes absolute sense why this one is juiced to the over at minus 128. Jacob Markstrom has been phenomenal in goal for Calgary as of late, and I haven't given him as much credit. Looking over his numbers, I'm actually really impressed with how strong he has been. But you've got a high-octane offense here of the New Jersey Devils. This is going to be such a test on him. He's got a 2.55 goals against average and a 0.913 save percentage. He's 7-3 in his last 10 games with a 2.22 goals against average and a 929 save percentage. So he's been phenomenal in the last 10. I'm going to look at his save shots on goal. His save shots on goal coming in at 27.5. And I know the defense of Calgary has been stepping up since coming back from the break in that one game. But I do think with how much the New Jersey Devils just fly and pepper the net, I think he can easily go over 27.5. I'm expecting the New Jersey Devils to put at least 35 shots on him, 4 maybe going in. So I do like that to the over. Now, Vanacek is in goal for the New Jersey Devils, and we know the New Jersey Devils so strong offensively. Their issues are not being able to keep the puck out of the back of the net as their defense is letting down their goaltenders. So this is one where I want to ride both of these teams to their team totals to the over. We're getting no value on Calgary on FanDuel. Calgary over 2.5 is like minus 160 something. But if you look at the New Jersey Devils team total, I do think they could find 4 goals in this one. I believe you're getting plus money. I just have to look at that one again because I don't have it right in front of me. But that in that case, you got to believe Jacob Markstrom is going to have more of a struggle in this one. I just think those goals there's going to be just so many shots on goal here for the New Jersey Devils. Yeah, 3.5. It's minus 110 right now for the Devils team total to that over. I do like the full game over. I was looking at that first period. You got to lay way too much juice for the first period to the over 1.5 is minus 140. So the full game over, you're getting better value at minus 128. We looked at Kuzmenko in the last game to come out nice and strong for Calgary. I wanted the power play point, couldn't get it, took that anytime goal. He was able to get the anytime goal on the power play. So if you took one or the other, you were definitely happy out there. For him to come out and make another big splash offensively for this team. And I think that's what Calgary needs. You even saw how it got some of these older guys just playing so much stronger out there on the ice, just adding some new, young, fresh players. So Kuzmenko here for the anytime goals, plus 230. And I do love him. Connor Zary was able to get a goal, and we've seen Nazem Kadri really step up as of late, leading this team with 26 assists and 42 points. Now, if you're looking at the other side, Tyler Toffoli, not 100% confirmed to play tonight. Tyler Toffoli was an ex-Calgary Flames player. So if he's playing, I would take him to be able to find the back of Jacob Markstrom's net, at least to be able to get that point. We know with Jack Hughes back out here on the ice, these guys still will be able to register those points. Jasper Bratt really has been stepping up with Tyler Toffoli out. He's riding a 5-game, I believe it is, point streak. So Jasper Bratt, another player to look at here. But I do like that over 1.5 in the first period, just too juicy. So give me the over 6.5 for the full game. 4-3. I think even if Jacob Markstrom plays absolutely incredible, it's still a 4-3 win here. He can get over the 27.5, and we can call it a day and keep your fingers crossed. It's 4-3 for Calgary. I think if Calgary is to come out, no, I still think even if this defense locks down, they still will allow these goals to come in by the Devils. The Devils just too strong. Yeah, he should be able to get that. You're getting even money on the Devils team total. Yeah, minus 110 for that one. Calgary plus the 1.5. It's not a bad way to go because I do think this is a 1-point game. I do like Calgary's team total. I just don't like the juice that they're making us lay on this. And hockey is way more fun with Jack Hughes in the lineup. As long as he's not playing my Calgary Flames. Come on, Kelly. We don't need him playing against Calgary. Yeah, Huberdeau. Huberdeau is one of the players that he really stepped up in the last game with these fresh new lineups out there. So I'm really liking what I saw out of Huberdeau. I was like so blown away when he was able to get the goal in the last one. So I would look at that as well. And I agree. You got to look at this one to go over. Let's move on to the next game here, you guys. Sorry if I missed any of your comments, just so many coming in. We got the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. Now we know the Flyers are off that win. Upset win. They were able to get their plus 110 here at home, minus 132 for the Winnipeg Jets, total of 5.5. You're getting minus 110 to either way of the 5.5. I can't trust the Flyers, and I still can't. I do think Erson's safe shots on goal number is way too low. I was looking at it and I was just scratching my head going, why are the books giving us only 25.5? This number is way too low because you look at the Winnipeg Jets, and yes, this team is so solid, locking down on the defensive side. But I do still think they get their shots on goal in this one. They are averaging 30.7 shots on goal. Their power play isn't fantastic at 15.4. But we look here, the Flyers have a phenomenal kill. So I'm not expecting the Jets to be able to score on that kill, but they're still going to get those shots. They're averaging the Flyers an allowed 28.1 shots on goal per game. So I do think 25.5, that number is too low. If you're getting 27.5 on your book, I wouldn't touch it, but 25.5, I do think is a really solid number. Now we've got teams that are sitting, the Jets third in the Central and the Flyers sitting third in the Metro. I'm getting so much value here for myself to take the Winnipeg Jets, even at minus 132. I think they're the way stronger team. I think they have the better defense. They don't have the locker room issues that we have going on with the Flyers. And yes, while they've come out of the break with kind of an ability to be able to get those wins with their last win versus the Panthers, I still don't believe in this team without Carter Hart and with everything that's happening. So the Jets have lost their last four, and I know this team has been struggling, but I think they dig deep. Boussois is in net and not Connor Hellebuck for the Winnipeg Jets tonight. It's not that much of a drop-off, you guys. Boussois is phenomenally strong. He's got a 2.07 goals against average and a 9.26 save percentage. So I do like him. The Winnipeg Jets at the minus 132 is a great way to go. You can also take them in regulation. I'm going to look at them here in regulation. That's coming in at plus 120. Now, don't forget, Shane Monahan is making his debut for the Winnipeg Jets tonight. I love these players making their debut. They want to prove themselves to their team, to the brand new team here. You can take him for the anytime goal at plus 300. You guys know how much of an impact Monahan was able to make on the Montreal Canadiens. We wrote him so many times for those points, for those assists, and the goals. I do think he can find the back of the net tonight at plus 300. So much value. You're looking for a kind of safer bet, you can look at Kyle Connor. He's been absolutely fantastic out there. Kyle Connor for the anytime goal for the Jets coming in at plus 150. Now, the Flyers are going to get on the scoreboard tonight, and we know Owen Tippett has been phenomenal out there. He's coming in at plus 230. So you're getting a lot of value. Now, the last time these teams did match up, the Flyers actually won it 2-0. And the game before, I believe it was 4-0. So the last two games, the Flyers have been able to shut out the Winnipeg Jets. I just don't see it happening again. Now, Dylan is out for the Jets on the defensive side. So if you wanted to look at the Flyers here to be able to get those goals tonight, you could, but I don't trust it. I don't trust this team offensively. I'm taking their team total under 2.5. That's coming in at plus 102. I only expect 2 goals out of the Flyers tonight. So even without one of their top defensemen in for the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, I would lean to the under. My problem here with this, I would take the under. I still do think the Winnipeg Jets just don't average enough goals to be able to push this one over. So, yeah, I would take it under. I like the Flyers team total under 2.5 a lot better, though, because in some way I could see the Jets putting up 4 on Erzin, and Erzin's still going over 25.5. So, Flyers team total for me to the under. Let's look at the next game here, you guys. The Colorado Avalanche taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, Colorado wanting to get back on track. They're coming in at plus 114. Carolina Hurricanes at minus 137, total of 6.5, minus 128 to the under, and plus 104 to the over in this one. If you think the Canes can win it big, plus or laying the 1.5 on the puck line is plus 176. I could see it happening, you guys. You got Georgiev in goal tonight for the Colorado Avalanche. This is their third game in 4 nights. I feel for Colorado coming into this one. They lost to the Devils on Tuesday, and then on Monday they lost to the New York Rangers. Now, the New York Rangers game was locked down defensively, and we saw the one versus the Devils where they just opened up offensively. Nathan MacKinnon unable to register a point in that, breaking his point streak. He had 14 points in a row. So Nathan MacKinnon to get on the scoreboard tonight, I am going to roll with. He's got to be frustrated off of that last game. You can take him for the anytime goal. You're not getting much value though at plus 105. So I absolutely don't love it. But this is the third game of 6 on the road for Colorado. They won the last game in October over the Carolina Hurricanes. That was a 6-4 win. And the 3 prior. So they have won the last 4. I was looking at the Avs team total. It's 2.5, but you're laying too much juice at minus 156. What I am going to do is I'm going to look at the Carolina Hurricanes team total. Over 3.5 is coming in at plus 116. You guys know it had me at that plus money, especially against the Colorado Avalanche on the road. This team on the road is allowing these goals to come in. Georgiev, while he's strong, I just don't completely trust him out there. And I do think that the Carolina Hurricanes so strong offensively. This team averaging 3.35 goals per game and 33.1 shots on goal. Their power play, if Colorado plays dirty, and a tired team on their third game in 4 nights normally ends up getting those penalties, making those mistakes out there, and Carolina can absolutely capitalize. They are clicking at 28.2% of their power plays. I do think they're going to light the lamp a lot in this game. So give me the plus money at plus 116 to the Carolina Hurricanes team total to the over. I'm not sure if this full game will go over if Carolina plays so strong defensively. This is a team that plays both ends of the puck, both ends of the ice all the time, and they're a really hard team for others to be able to get past, especially at home. So looking at Sebastian Aho for the Carolina Hurricanes for the anytime goal coming in at plus 160. If you're looking for longer shots, the defenseman Brett Burns, you get those gut feelings sometimes. He doesn't have a lot of goals on the season. I just can't get past his plus 470 value there for that anytime goal. He's had an assist in the last 2 games, like 1 shot on goal only takes 1 shot to be able to score. So I don't know. Brett Burns is screaming at me. Seth Jarvis as well. Last 5 games, he's had 1 or more assists. So much value in Seth Jarvis. Again, for the assist coming in at plus 154. The anytime goal at plus 210. I like both of those plays there. I think this is a great night for the Carolina Hurricanes. So that is where I'm going, you guys. They're going to be at home for a while. This is game 2 for them. They got 3 more at home before they hit the road. Lauren, thanks for joining here today, Colorado, and the over for Doug in this one. MacKinnon, yeah, I would look at MacKinnon over 1.5 points. The problem here with MacKinnon over 1.5 points, because I did look at it, the anytime goal was plus 105, and MacKinnon over 1.5 points was plus 102. So I kind of went, if I think he's going to get 2 points in this, I think 1 is an assist, 1 is a goal. I'm getting more value just with the goal, and then I don't have to worry about the assist coming in. So that's where I went with that one. Doug, have a good night. Arizona, yeah, first game back from the break. Arizona, I think they can take Vegas. Vegas coming off an emotional win. So we are riding against Vegas tonight. Well, at least I am. You guys can do whatever you want. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders. Let's get to this game. The Lightning coming in at plus 116. The New York Islanders at minus 140. Total of 6.5, minus 114 to the under, minus 106 to the over. Feels like a trap of all traps here to take the Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 116. I know there's so much value on the Lightning. They have been the better team of the season. And here versus the Islanders, who are off a win, who were struggling going into the break, it seems like an easy way to go, but I'm just not getting there. I really like what Patrick Roy has been able to do with this team. And Sorokin was so phenomenally hot in that last game out. I'm taking Sorokin for his safe shots on goal Over 27.5. You're going to have to lay the juice at minus 126, but it's worth it in this one. He saved 34 36 shots on goal versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. And if you watch that last 90 seconds, I tell you, you were sweating as much as Sorokin was sweating out there if you had him to the over save shots on goal and if you had the Islanders like I did, because the Leafs, the way they peppered him, they were doing everything possible to light the lamp and were just unable to because of Sorokin's great gameplay. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning here, this is a team that averages 30 shots on goal per game. Their power play best overall in the league, converting at 29.7%. I do think they bring it offensively in this game. Their kill is 81.3, and we look at the kill here of the New York Islanders. It's only clicking at 72.1%, so they have to stay out of the penalty box here for sure. It's the worst kill in the whole league. I'm looking at this one as Sorokin plays phenomenal, and the Islanders have every chance of getting the win. But you guys know, why do I want to lay minus 140 with the New York Islanders? I really don't. Second night of a back-to-back here, though, for the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is not a good situation for them. They've lost the last 7 as a dog on the second night of a back-to-back. So it's not a play on for me. The Lightning's team total under 2.5. If I think Sorokin is going to play as strong as he's going to play, that under 2.5 is in play for me. That's coming in at plus 124. I do think there is value there, but could this be all of a sudden Sorokin comes out completely flat in this one? It absolutely could, but I do think the defense, with what we saw out of the defense in the last game versus the Leafs, I think we can keep the Tampa Bay Lightning under 2.5. And I would like to see them win. They're sitting 4th in the Atlantic. I already have a future on them to win the Atlantic at plus 2,500. So I need every win I can get. But what I saw out of the Islanders in that last game, I think they will have it in this one. Now, if you're looking for player props, Braden Point has been phenomenally strong versus the Islanders in his career. For the power play point tonight, he's plus 160. The anytime goal plus 155, and 2+ points is plus 190. For the last 6 meetings versus the Islanders, he's got 2+ points. So I like the points at plus 190. Barzal, I do think you can look at Barzal to come out nice and strong. He came out so strong for the Islanders in that last game, coming out and scoring that first goal. So I do like Barzal here. You look at how strong the defense was, and that's what I mean about taking Tampa's team total to that under. Even though this team we know has such a strong offense, it's going to depend on Sorokin, and it's going to depend on the Islanders not playing dirty, because if the Islanders play dirty and get in the penalty box, our total 2.5 could be done in the first period. We know the Lightning can come out that fast and score 3 goals in that first. I'm just praying that the defense here and the Islanders play solid. So in the second and the third period versus the Maple Leafs, they held the Leafs to 9 shots and then 7 shots on goal. And it was that first period they allowed 13. But you look at what the offense was able to do. They had 11 shots on goal in the first period, 10 in the second, and 15 in the third period. So this team working both ends of the ice and playing really strong out of that break. And I do think they can continue that form. How long it will last, I'm not sure. They won the last meeting versus the Lightning 6-1. So they did hold the Lightning under that total of 6.5, but the Lightning did win the 6 meetings prior. So this is going out on a little bit of a limb here, taking the Islanders. But you guys know that I love looking at teams at home. And I do think, TJ, if you're looking at the Islanders, you've got to look at that puck line laying 1.5. So the Islanders on the puck line laying the 1.5 is coming in at plus 168. And I would look that way, or I'd look at the Islanders in regulation. Now that 60-minute line on the Islanders, 60-minute line on the Islanders is coming in at plus 105. So I do like that value of the plus 105. I also like the Islanders on that puck line. This team under Patrick Waugh really is going to be able to turn things around. I'm thinking, and versus Tampa here on the second night of a back-to-back, I think it's a really strong way to go. Okay, last game. You guys already know the last game. I told you guys yesterday, it's the Coyotes all day long for me. Like we could just finish the show. Just joking. Okay, the Coyotes are plus 116. I wish we got so much value here. I just think Vegas is off too big of an emotional win over the Edmonton Oilers. They're coming in at minus 140, and I don't want to lay that on the Vegas Golden Knights on the road. You have a total of 5.5, minus 118 to the over, minus 104 to the under. I'm taking it to the under here. Now, following a win, we look at the Vegas Golden Knights. They failed to cover the puck line in their last 6 following a win as a favorite. So I couldn't take the Vegas Golden Knights minus 1.5 at plus 164. It seems like when you look at these teams, the right way to go, but it just can't get there. I think it was too big of a big win, and this is a one-off game as well. They have the Wild, and they have got a really wacky schedule. They have the Wild on Monday. So today's Thursday. They come out here on the road. They haven't played since they played Edmonton, and then they go here, and then they don't play till Monday, and then they don't play till next Saturday versus the Carolina Hurricanes. So I don't love the scheduling spot. I think this is a nice letdown spot here for them. There's a road trip on deck for the Arizona Coyotes. They have the Preds on Saturday, the Flyers on Monday. It's just, I wish we were getting more plus money. I wish this was like plus 140, plus 150 here for the Coyotes, and then I would love it so much more. But you look at Connor Ingram and Adin Hill. I do think this one absolutely stays to the under. Adin Hill has been a beast out there on the ice. It's so hard for teams to light the lamp on him. And Connor Ingram, when we look at Connor Ingram in the last game these two teams played, Vegas lost that game. The Arizona Coyotes won 2-0, and it was because of Connor Ingram and how strong he was in net. He saved 34 shots on goal to get that shutout win. So I do think Connor Ingram brings it again today. I'm going to look at those save shots on goal for him right now. It wasn't posted when we started the show, so I just want to see if we can get it. His number, 26.5 at minus 122 to the over. It's a done deal for me. The Arizona Coyotes do not give a lot of protection to Connor Ingram. They're allowing an average of 31.7 shots on goal. You know Vegas is still going to come out strong offensively. They average 31.2 shots on goal. So this is all going to depend on Connor Ingram, but I do think he can steal them the win here. I think this one stays under the total of 5.5. I don't see either team blowing out the other. So there's no value on, let me just double check that. I don't think there's any value on the puck line. No, Arizona Coyotes plus 1.5, minus 122. See, I couldn't even parlay that together because I was thinking if we parlay the Coyotes on the puck line and then those goalie props, and we're not going to get enough value at minus 222. So that is where I'm looking because I like this one to the over. Or to the under. I'm not going to take any player props. Logan Thompson is in net. Okay, I'm still going to go under. I'm still going to go under with that. I'm comfortable with it. Yeah, I do think Arizona, the last two. Hill is out. It's too bad Hill is out. That is for sure. So I would look at Vegas's team total. Now that we're seeing, I do like this game to the under, but let's look at Vegas's team total, you guys. I'm sure we're getting a 3.5 here. Hopefully we're getting value on the under. No, we're not. The under 3.5 minus 166. So I can't do it. Logan Thompson has been phenomenally strong as well. He's not as strong as Adin Hill, but I do think he can do enough for us to keep this one to that under. If we're looking at that first period, I tell you, Edmonton really screwed us over getting that goal so quick in that last game, and that game still staying under. First period goal in the first 10 minutes. The Noah's coming in at plus 108. If you like the yes, that's minus 136. I would look at the no there. This is the first game back, I know, for the Arizona Coyotes, but I do think Connor Ingram, just a difference maker out there. And this team absolutely knows they need to get the win before they head out on the road trip. I love what we're seeing out of these young players. Now, William Karlsson added back into the lineup for Vegas definitely was a huge help in that last game versus Edmonton. If we're looking at goal scorers, because I like lower scoring, I wouldn't really jump on any of these, but Clayton Keller, you know he's my go-to. He's coming in at plus 200 here for the Arizona Coyotes. And then if you're looking at anyone else, kind of a longer shot here for Vegas. Yeah, no, I really don't like any longer shots. It would just, you look at Mark Stone plus 185. Yeah, or Chandler Stevenson plus 340, or you got Carlson at plus 260. So, you guys, that's where I'm going. 7 games on the ice. Let's make some freaking money out there tonight. I want to say a huge thank you for everyone who tunes into the daily, jumps in the YouTube, the X chat, and plays their comments, everything that they're liking out there. To everyone who retweets and shares this and plays it. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's have a fantastic day. Make sure, if you haven't already, check out the SportsGrid app. I can't remind you guys enough. It's a fantastic app. Big shout out to Kelly. Kelly, you join me every day, and I appreciate you so very much. But you guys, all the best. Let's make some freaking money. Let's let it ride tonight. Bye, guys.